Here is the bullet point structure I plan to use based on the transcript you provided and designed for high retention and dramatic flow. Introduction. Hook. Start with the alarming contrast between Julia Roberts' public image and recent reports of a serious private health battle, highlighting her husband's alleged concern and hints of something final. Pose the central question about her condition and the reality behind the icon. Section 1. The Enduring Star. Briefly establish Julia Roberts' unique place in Hollywood, her iconic status, and her talent, emphasizing how she's seemingly transcended the usual pressures of fame while maintaining authenticity. Section 2. Building a Life Apart. Detail her conscious decision to prioritize privacy and family after meeting Danny Moder, creating a home life away from the intense Hollywood spotlight, setting the stage for understanding the value she places on this private sphere. Section 3. The first cracks appear. Introduce the initial public controversy surrounding the start of her relationship with Danny Moder and his previous marriage, including the aloe vera shirt incident, portraying it as a rare moment that challenged her America's sweetheart image. Section 4. Behind the Scenes Whispers. Explore allegations of difficult behavior on movie sets, mentioning the rumored Tinkerhell nickname during Hook, framing these as industry rumors that contrast with her public persona and acknowledging her later explanation. Section 5. Modern-day critiques. Discuss other forms of public criticism she has faced in recent years, such as perceived silence on social political issues and critiques regarding the diversity of her roles, presenting these as contemporary challenges to her legacy. Section 6. Danny Moder's Own Pressures. Shift focus to Danny Moder, outlining his own past challenges, including his previous divorce and reports of tensions on his sets, adding dimension to their partnership and showing the dual pressures they navigate. Section 7. The Unseen Health Crisis. Introduce the central alarming reports of Julia Roberts' alleged progressive health decline, detailing the reported vision loss and chronic pain, linking it to a past illness, and explaining its devastating impact on her ability to work and daily life. Section 8. Navigating Adversity Together. Explore how these reported severe health challenges are impacting her marriage and family, highlighting Danny Moder's alleged role as a crucial support system, while also acknowledging the immense strain that chronic illness places on a partnership. Conclusion. Summarize the narrative arc from global icon to a woman reportedly facing significant private health challenges. Reflect on the resilience required, the strength of her partnership, and the uncertain future, leaving viewers with a sense of the human story behind the famous smile. This structure allows us to build the story dynamically, starting with the most compelling current report, then providing the necessary background and context, including lesser-known challenges, before returning to the present situation with greater emotional weight and insight. Each section adds new, engaging information. Here is the full script based on the structure and the transcript you provided, written to be engaging, fast-paced, and high retention, following all your rules. The iconic smile of Julia Roberts has lit up screens for decades, defining an era of Hollywood glamour. But now, unsettling reports suggest a deeply personal battle is unfolding behind the scenes, one that's sending shockwaves and leaving fans searching for answers. Whispers hint at something far more serious than anyone expected, with claims that her own husband is preparing to say goodbye. What is truly happening with Julia Roberts, and why is her private life suddenly the subject of such grave concern? For years, she has been that rare figure in Hollywood who seems untouchable, transcending trends with a unique blend of talent and charisma. From her breakthrough in Pretty Woman to her Oscar-winning performance in Erin Brockovich, Julia Roberts captivated audiences, solidifying her status as a leading lady with unmistakable star power. She built a career marked by steady evolution, selecting roles that resonated, always seeming to inhabit her characters with sincerity. She mastered the art of balancing massive box office appeal with performances that felt grounded and real, making even the most glamorous parts feel deeply human. But the public persona is only one part of the story. After years in the intense spotlight, Julia made a deliberate choice to build a life largely away from the Hollywood machine. She met cinematographer Danny Moder on the set of The Mexican in 2000, and their connection blossomed away from the tabloid frenzy. They married in a quiet ceremony just 2 years later, a clear signal of their shared desire for privacy. Together, they prioritized family, raising their 3 children far from the constant glare, focusing on normal daily life. Julia has often spoken about how motherhood shifted everything, making fame secondary to being present for her family. She even joined Instagram only recently, keeping her posts rare and meaningful, allowing her work to speak for itself in an age of overexposure. Yet, even for someone who so carefully guards her privacy, building that life wasn't entirely without public challenges. Perhaps the most discussed early on was the controversy surrounding the start of her relationship with Danny Moder. At the time, he was still married to his first wife, Vera Steinberg. Reports claim the timeline of Julia and Danny's budding romance, and his subsequent divorce sparked significant public criticism, a sharp contrast to the wholesome image that had been built around her. Fueling the fire, Roberts was photographed wearing a t-shirt that read, "Alo Vera," which many interpreted as a pointed message. While never directly explained, for critics, it felt like a rare instance of public pettiness from a star known for restraint, revealing that even the most admired stars are capable of messy, very human decisions. Adding another layer to the public perception versus private reality were whispers from behind the scenes. Throughout her career, rumors circulated about alleged difficult behavior on set. While never officially confirmed, during the production of Hook in 1991, director Steven Spielberg and others on the crew reportedly referred to her as Tinkerhell, citing erratic behavior. Roberts later addressed these claims, acknowledging she was under tremendous personal stress dealing with a very public breakup at the time, denying she was intentionally difficult, but admitting her emotional state might have impacted the work environment. Though she offered an explanation, the nickname stuck in Hollywood lore in certain circles. It wasn't just personal life or set behavior that drew scrutiny. In more recent years, other forms of public criticism have surfaced. Her decision to mostly avoid social media, while praised by some as a healthy boundary, has led others to accuse her of being disconnected or even elitist in an age where fans expect transparency. Critics have pointed out that, while beloved, she avoids direct dialogue or accountability online. Furthermore, some have questioned the lack of diversity in her filmography and perceived silence on major social and political issues, especially when compared to contemporaries who are more vocal. While her defenders argue she supports causes, quietly, in a time when silence can be seen as complicity, her non-participation in public discourse hasn't gone unnoticed by everyone. And it's not only Julia facing scrutiny, her partner's life also has its own complexities. Danny Moder, despite his respected career as a cinematographer, has faced his own share of challenges. His previous divorce from Vera Steinberg inevitably drew media attention when his relationship with Julia began, sparking gossip about the transition. Beyond personal matters, reports have also surfaced about alleged tensions on his film sets. While creative disagreements are not uncommon in the industry, whispers of difficulties working with him have circulated, suggesting that their partnership navigates dual pressures: the glare of Julia's fame alongside potential challenges in his own professional world. But recently, the whispers have shifted to something far more personal and concerning. Reports claim Julia Roberts is confronting serious health challenges that have profoundly impacted her life. Those who have seen her publicly have noted a change, with descriptions circulating of her appearing frail. At the center of these reported struggles is an alleged progressive loss of vision. Sources suggest this troubling development is connected to a severe bout of spinal meningitis she battled in the 1980s, an illness whose lingering effects are believed to have re-emerged later in life, manifesting as chronic pain, debilitating migraines, and, most notably, a gradual loss of eyesight. These alleged physical symptoms are relentless, making routine daily activities daunting and posing substantial obstacles, particularly for her career, where reading scripts is fundamental. Reports indicate this struggle is forcing her to confront the painful reality that her work may need to adapt dramatically. This private health battle, of course, doesn't happen in isolation. It's deeply intertwined with her marriage to Danny Moder and their family life. Chronic illness places immense pressure on any relationship, testing resilience. Despite the significant challenges posed by Julia's reported condition, Danny Moder's role as a supportive spouse is said to be unwavering. Reports suggest his care and understanding provide her with crucial emotional strength and practical support as she navigates these difficult times. However, the unpredictable demands of chronic illness inevitably require adjustments that impact not only Julia but also those around her, adding new stressors and challenges to their partnership and family dynamics, even as they reportedly rally together. From the radiant smile that captivated the world to the private woman reportedly facing immense health challenges, Julia Roberts' story is far more complex than the Hollywood facade. It's a narrative of building a carefully guarded life, navigating public scrutiny and industry whispers, and now, allegedly confronting a deeply personal health crisis alongside the partner she chose for a life away from the spotlight. It underscores the resilience required to face adversity, the vital strength found in partnership, and leaves us contemplating the true reality behind the iconic smile. A human story of love, challenges, and an uncertain future lived in part under the unblinking eye of the world. The radiant smile of Julia Roberts, an image etched into global consciousness for decades, has always represented a particular kind of Hollywood magic. Accessible, authentic, and seemingly untouched by the industry's often harsh realities. But beneath the surface of that enduring icon, unsettling reports are now claiming a deeply personal and potentially devastating story is unfolding. It's a private battle that hints at something far more serious than the public could have imagined, with whispers suggesting her own husband, the man with whom she built a life away from the spotlight, is grappling with the gravity of the situation, allegedly preparing to face something akin to a final goodbye. What truth lies behind these alarming claims? What is the real nature of the crisis reportedly facing Julia Roberts, and why is this private struggle hinting at an outcome so profoundly heartbreaking? Julia Roberts stands as a true anomaly in Hollywood, a figure who hasn't just survived fleeting trends but has thrived, maintaining a relevance and adoration that few can match. From the moment she burst onto the scene in Pretty Woman, audiences were captivated not just by her beauty but by a unique blend of vulnerability, wit, and that unmistakable, wide smile. She wasn't just a movie star, she became America's sweetheart, a title she earned through a series of roles that showcased her versatile talent, from the legal crusader in Erin Brockovich to the charming lead in countless romantic comedies. What sets her apart is her ability to feel both utterly glamorous and completely relatable simultaneously. She built a career on making deliberate choices, selecting projects that resonated with her, often balancing massive commercial appeal with performances grounded in emotional depth. She never seemed to chase fame for its own sake, instead allowing her work to speak volumes, a strategy that has solidified her legendary status across generations and continues to resonate with audiences seeking authenticity in an often artificial world. While her career soared, Julia Roberts made a very conscious and public decision to construct a private life distinct from the Hollywood frenzy. After highly publicized early romances, she found something different with cinematographer Danny Moder, whom she met on a film set in 2000. Their connection wasn't a tabloid spectacle, it was rooted in a shared passion for filmmaking and a mutual desire for quiet. They married privately in 2002, choosing a life together that deliberately sidestepped the relentless glare of the media. Their focus shifted dramatically to building a family away from the flashing cameras, raising their 3 children, twins Hazel and Phineas, and youngest son Henry, with a fierce dedication to protecting their normalcy. Julia has often spoken in rare interviews about the transformative power of motherhood, how it fundamentally changed her priorities and shifted her focus away from the industry's demands. She actively limits her presence online, joining Instagram years after. Most celebrities, and even then, her posts are carefully curated, focusing on meaningful moments rather than daily updates or self-promotion. This deliberate choice to remain selectively visible has only added to her mystique, proving that in an age of overexposure, absence can sometimes make the heart grow fonder, reinforcing her image as someone grounded and authentic despite her immense fame. However, even the most carefully constructed image has moments of fracture. Perhaps the most widely discussed public challenge to her America's sweetheart persona came at the very beginning of her relationship with Danny Moder. At the time, Danny was married to Vera Steinberg, and the timeline surrounding his divorce and subsequent marriage to Julia became a subject of intense media scrutiny and public speculation. Reports claimed the optics of the situation led many to question the circumstances, a stark contrast to the uncomplicated image she had cultivated. The situation was further amplified by a now infamous incident where Julia was photographed wearing a t-shirt that read, "Allo, Vera." This move was widely interpreted as a pointed message towards Moder's ex-wife, fueling the narrative that even the beloved Julia Roberts was capable of public pettiness and engaging in messy, very human relationship drama. While Julia never offered a direct explanation for the shirt, the incident remains one of the rare instances where her carefully guarded private life spilled into public controversy in a way that challenged the perception of her as effortlessly perfect, revealing a more complex, perhaps even impulsive side beneath the polished surface. Adding another layer to the public versus private narrative are persistent rumors and whispers from inside the film industry itself. While celebrated for her talent, reports throughout her career have suggested that Julia Roberts could, at times, be challenging on set. Though never officially confirmed or widely reported as fact, these industry whispers have occasionally painted a picture that contrasts with her easygoing public image. A notable example that has lingered in Hollywood lore is the rumored nickname Tinkerhell, reportedly used by some crew members during the filming of Hook in 1991. The alleged name suggested a demanding or difficult presence on set. Roberts later addressed these rumors in an interview, acknowledging that she was going through immense personal stress at the time, dealing with the very public and painful collapse of her engagement to Kiefer Sutherland. While she denied being intentionally difficult, she admitted her emotional state may have negatively impacted the work environment. Despite her explanation, the perception of her being potentially demanding has, in certain industry circles, occasionally resurfaced, highlighting the enduring power of on-set gossip and the challenge of managing intense personal struggles while under the intense pressure of a major film production. The challenges to her public perception haven't been limited to past relationship controversies or old-set rumors. In recent years, as societal expectations for celebrities have evolved, new forms of criticism have emerged, reflecting a changing cultural landscape. Her deliberate avoidance of social media, while preserving her privacy, has also been seen by some as a sign of disconnect or even elitism in an era where fans expect transparency and direct engagement. Critics argue that she enjoys the benefits of being adored, but avoids the potential accountability or unfiltered dialogue that comes with online platforms. For example, when older interview clips containing views now considered outdated resurface, her characteristic silence leaves a void, allowing speculation to fill the space. Furthermore, As Hollywood undergoes a long overdue push for greater inclusion and representation, some critics have pointed out the perceived lack of diversity in her filmography, both in terms of the stories she chooses and the roles she plays. While acknowledging her range, the critique suggests that despite her immense power and influence, she hasn't always used her platform to champion more diverse voices or narratives as actively as some contemporaries. Additionally, her tendency to remain quiet on major social and political issues, unlike many of her peers who leverage their platforms for advocacy, has drawn criticism from those who believe silence can be seen as complicity, especially in times of national upheaval or conversations around systemic injustice. While her defenders argue she prefers quiet philanthropy, her public neutrality has not gone unnoticed by a public increasingly demanding celebrity engagement on important issues. The narrative of challenges and complexities extends beyond Julia herself to the man she built her private life with. Danny Moder, though primarily working behind the camera, has his own history that adds layers to their enduring partnership. His previous marriage to Vera Steinberg inevitably became a point of public discussion, particularly the timing of their divorce in relation to the start of his relationship with Julia Roberts. While the details remain private, this transition was fodder for gossip columns and highlighted the difficulties celebrity couples face when past lives intersect with intense public interest. Beyond his personal life, Danny Moder has also reportedly faced his own professional pressures and criticisms within the competitive world of cinematography. While recognized for his skill on many projects, whispers in certain industry circles have suggested instances of tension or creative disagreements on sets where he worked, sometimes causing friction with directors or other crew members. These reports, while not as widely publicized as those concerning his famous wife, add another dimension to the dynamics of their partnership. They suggest that both Julia and Danny navigate demanding professional worlds, and that the pressures of their respective careers, his technical and collaborative, hers high-profile and emotionally demanding, could contribute to an intense environment both on set and potentially, by extension, in their shared private life, subtly echoing the earlier rumors about Julia's on-set temperament. But the most concerning reports circulating now move beyond past controversies and industry whispers, painting a picture of a much graver, present-day crisis. Sources are claiming that Julia Roberts is allegedly confronting significant, progressive, health challenges that have begun to visibly impact her. Reports suggest she appears frail, a stark contrast to the vibrant energy she projects. At the core of these deeply unsettling claims is an alleged progressive loss of vision. Sources suggest this debilitating condition is a delayed, devastating consequence of a severe bout of spinal meningitis she reportedly contracted back in the 1980s. While she overcame the initial illness in her youth, the lingering effects are believed to have resurfaced years later, manifesting not only as severe, chronic pain and unpredictable, debilitating migraines, but, most alarmingly, as a gradual deterioration of her eyesight. These alleged physical symptoms are described as relentless, making even simple daily activities a daunting struggle. For an actress whose craft relies fundamentally on reading scripts, on observing nuances, and conveying emotion through expression, a progressive loss of vision poses an existential threat to her career. Reports indicate this health crisis has cast a heavy shadow of uncertainty over her future in acting, forcing her to potentially confront the possibility of adapting or altering the very path she has dedicated her life to. It's a personal battle, fought in the shadows, a devastating reality reportedly hidden behind the public smile. Navigating a serious chronic illness places immense strain on any relationship, and reports suggest that Julia Roberts' alleged health struggles are profoundly impacting her marriage and family life. Chronic pain, vision loss, and the unpredictable nature of her reported condition create significant challenges that extend to those closest to her. Danny Moder, her husband of over 2 decades, is said to be a crucial source of support, providing care, understanding, and emotional strength as she reportedly navigates this difficult period. Their ability to face these hardships together speaks volumes about the depth of their bond and the strong foundation of mutual respect and love they built. However, reports also acknowledge the immense pressure such a health crisis places on a partnership, requiring adjustments, patience, and shared resilience. The transcript notes the entire family, including their children and Julia's sister, has reportedly rallied together, providing a vital network of support and assistance. The need for day-to-day help and the emotional toll of watching a loved one battle a progressive illness inevitably change family dynamics, requiring everyone to adapt to a new reality. Despite the undeniable difficulties, this collective strength and support offer a glimpse of the human spirit's capacity to unite and find comfort in shared resilience when faced with life-altering obstacles. From the dazzling heights of Hollywood, superstardom, defined by an iconic smile and carefully maintained privacy, Julia Roberts' story reportedly takes a turn towards a deeply human struggle. It's a narrative that moves beyond the controversies and whispers that have occasionally surfaced throughout her career, focusing now on the alleged, unseen battle against a progressive health crisis. It underscores the profound contrast between a public image of effortless joy and the potential reality of private suffering. It highlights the strength required not just to build a life outside the spotlight, but to defend it, and potentially, to face immense challenges within it. Her reported journey through alleged chronic pain and vision loss, supported by the partner with whom she sought a grounded life, is a testament to resilience. It leaves us contemplating the true cost of fame, the vulnerability that lies beneath, even the most radiant facade, and the uncertain future of a beloved icon reportedly navigating the most personal and challenging role of her life. The story is far from over, but the reality behind the smile appears to be one of profound human trial, revealing that even America's sweetheart is not immune to heartbreak and the quiet battles fought behind closed doors.